me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
As long as you love what you do, it's never a day of work in your life. And I really, truly feel that way because it gives you the opportunity to see the value of what Parks and Recreation brings to your community. It doesn't matter how old the participant is or the citizen in your community or what they're doing. You see the smiles on the faces of the kids that engage in our programs. Doesn't matter the age, or our seniors or active adults that are actively engaged in different things that otherwise they may be at home or not have anybody else to engage with.
Welcome back to the Daily Parks and Rec Show from the 2025 GRPA Conference. In this episode, we sit down with Holli Browder, Director of Columbus Parks and Recreation and former GRPA President, alongside Nick Clark, Operations Director of Teen Services for the City of Atlanta. Together, they share powerful stories of leadership, lifelong careers in Parks and Rec, and why this profession is truly an essential service. From youth development and community safety to health, connection, and hope. If you're passionate about impact, purpose, and building stronger communities, this conversation is one you don't want to miss. Let's dive in.
All right, we are live again. This is Craig LeBlanc with the Daily Parks and Rec Show, live from the GRPA 2025 convention. And I have Holli, the former president. Is that right?
That is.
Outgoing?
No, former president. I was president of GRPA 2022.
Yeah. And then I have Nick from City of Atlanta. How are y'all doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
Now, how's the convention going so far from you? Let's say, Nick, why don't you go first?
Professionals who share, I guess, the similar passion that I have for recreation, but also learning and learning or being exposed to different things that I can take back to the city of Atlanta, offer to our constituents and our participants. So I always love learning. So
yeah,
great.
Holli, how about you?
It's going great. This is one of our largest conventions we've ever had. So as an organization, we've been established for about 80 years. And we've topped out over 800 attendees this year for us here at GRPA, which is fabulous. Just great to know that we have a lot of enthusiastic folks who are still in our profession of Parks and Recreation, and also bringing in new students, new college students, new professionals, just knowing that we're keeping our profession alive and going well.
All right, so why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourselves, each what y'all do in the Parks and Rec department that y'all work in. Holli, would you like to go first?
Sure, be happy to. I'm Holli Browder. I'm the director of Columbus Parks and Recreation, Columbus, Georgia. I've been in the field of Parks and Recreation for about 30 years. I've been in the city of Columbus, Georgia for 23 years, and I've been the director for about 9. Came up as a kid playing sports and athletics in Parks and Recreation when I was young. Jumped into Parks and Rec when I was in college and never left. So we'll talk more probably about that later, but have enjoyed my career in Parks and Recreation. In one of those stories where I worked my way up. So I have a lot of experience in a lot of areas. We just call it tools in our toolbox. Gives us a lot of opportunities to really help all of our staff members.
Fantastic. Nick, now what do you do in Parks and Rec?
My name is Nicholas Clark, and I serve as the Operation Director of Teen Services for the City of Atlanta. So I have the pleasure of overseeing our teen initiative. I like to say I have a phenomenal job because I get to inspire the next generation of leaders. I've been in the field of recreation for 31 years. 31 years. I actually started when I was 14. So started there, 45 now. Just kind of love what I do. I do it because I understand the impact that it had on me. So it's kind of a no-brainer. And every career that I've had since then has kind of fell in line. So yeah, I've just been blessed to work in recreation.
All right, so I'd love to have each of you kind of share a little bit about your kind of origin story or journey into Parks and Rec, and maybe tap it a little bit into who you were in high school and in college, and then how did you discover Parks and Rec as a career path?
Nick, you jump in. You go first.
How did I discover it? Parks and Rec has been a part of my life forever. I know we presented yesterday, and I kind of told a story about how when I was 2 years old, they dropped me in the pool. And And Miss Vanessa was actually one of my coordinators. She's actually director for Glenn County Parks and Rec here. So just getting the opportunity to know her, and that introduced me to Parks and Rec, and it's kind of had a passion. Then I picked up basketball through that journey, and basketball led to playing basketball in high school, playing basketball in college, even playing pro basketball after high school. So recreation has just truly been a part of my journey. Then after college, taking on a athletics director job at a high school, doing it there, and then transitioning into DeKalb County Parks and Rec, and staying with DeKalb for a few years, and then receiving an opportunity with the city of Atlanta to where I started off as a facility manager, then migrated, had the opportunity to be chosen to be the team coordinator because the mayor at that time feeling that he felt that, hey, you did such a phenomenal job, and I think so many people gravitate to you. I want you to lead from this position. So having that opportunity now, currently working as the team coordinator, team operation director for the city of Atlanta. So it's kind of a long, I guess.
Yeah. Parks and Rec.
So sure. So high school, I would have never guessed that I'd ended up in Parks and Recreation. I actually had a scholarship to go play basketball in college, but got hurt playing softball in high school, playing travel ball of all things. But ended up having the grades to go to college, planned to go to law school. So very far and very different from where I ended up today. But quick short story. When I was in college, I worked for an attorney's office because I wanted to be a lawyer and long term. Asked for a raise from that law firm. This will tell my age a little bit, but it was a quarter. You know, you asked for a quarter raise. That was a lot way back when.
Yeah.
And was told no. And funny story, the attorney I worked for, his wife got me the job in Parks and Recreation. I got me the job with her husband, but then got me the job in Parks and Rec. Started part-time, came into that, working in athletics, jumped really quickly in that small agency over the last four and a half years I was there, left there as the athletic superintendent, and never looked back. Ended up staying in Parks and Recreation all that time, going to Columbus while I was still in college. And at the end of my college days, it was more about a calling. It was more about doing something that I felt comfortable that wasn't work. They always have the old adage, you know, as long as you love what you do, it's never a day of work in your life. And I really truly feel that way because it gives you the opportunity to see the value of what Parks and Recreation brings to a community. It doesn't matter how old the participant is or the citizen in your community or what they're doing. When you see the smiles on the faces of the kids that engage in our programs, doesn't matter the age, or our seniors or active adults that are actively engaged in different things that otherwise they may be at home or not have anybody else to engage with. It means the world to me as an individual, and it's kind of that power that keeps you going every day. And so having gone through, like I said, going from a small agency to the city of Columbus, we're the second largest city in Georgia. So we're a little bit larger agency, but just seeing all the different facets and opportunities that we can provide to so many residents in our community is truly what got me and kept me in Parks and Recreation after all these years. And like I said, I kind of started at the ground up. I was a programmer, came into a department, had no program experience, was told by the person that hired me, hey, you've got to have some program experience. They were going to move you over. Unfortunately, some things kind of happened along the way for that person. It didn't work out. So I wasn't moved, stayed in position for 9 years as a programmer. That afforded me a lot of opportunities to really get to know our community, to work on all sides of our community and a lot of different neighborhoods, at a lot of like meet you where you are kind of situations. So it gave me a different perspective than most probably. You know, for their families or the necessities for their kids. And then I've worked with people who could, you know, buy anything or go or do anything their life desire. So I feel like, you know, being in Parks and Recreation affords us.
Okay, so I want to play a short video. Actually, I'm gonna change it a little. I want to play the one on why Parks and Rec should be. And then as soon as we got it shut down, thankfully a lot of people kind of brought out the pitchforks and started to defend our industry. But I want to play this and get each of y'all's take and help me to kind of give a good definitive argument as to why Parks and Rec is absolutely essential for our communities. So play this and we'll come right back.
When we talk about essential services, what comes to mind? Police, firefighters, healthcare. But there's another essential service, often overlooked, yet always present. Parks and recreation. Parks and Rec is health. It's the walking trail that lowers blood pressure, the recreation center where seniors fight isolation, the swim lessons that prevent tragedy before it happens. This isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. Parks and Rec is safety. A playground instead of a street corner, a basketball court instead of trouble, a summer camp where every child belongs. It's not just about activity, it's about protection, prevention, and possibility. Parks and Rec is community, the festival that brings neighbors together, the cultural event that teaches respect and diversity, the open space where a city breathes. It builds bridges where division once stood. It gives people a reason to gather, to connect, to care. And Parks and Rec is economics. It strengthens property values. It drives tourism through events and trails. It saves on healthcare costs. Every dollar invested multiplies, feeding back into schools, into safety, into growth. Essential service is not just about survival, it's about thriving. And Parks and Recreation is where thriving begins. In wellness, in equity, in culture, and in joy. Parks and Rec isn't extra, it's essential. For our health, for our safety, for our communities, for our future. A message from the Parks and Recreation community.
So let's give a little feedback on that and maybe help me defend or help the whole industry defend of why Parks and Rec is an essential service. Let's see, Nick, would you like to go first?
That's fine. I can go first. Well, he said, why is Park and Rec essential? It's life-changing work. I often tell my team, like, it's something that you can't truly measure in a survey or something like that. The impact that you have on the individual's life is nothing short of amazing. I mean, I've seen kids who were just, I think, didn't have anything, but this program gave them everything. We exposed them to different opportunities they would have never seen, whether it be taking a kid, from a inner city kid to Lake Allatoona. They've never been there to see this lake. So that may expose them to a different career they've never thought about. Even the youth sports that we offer, hey, we're truly the foundation to teach them sports and so on. And those sports actually, for me, I'm that kid again, that teaches me life. I learned a lot sports through the recreation department, which now I guess transitions into life. So our work is very essential. And I think you will never understand this work if you've never been in this work. But the people, the lives that we touch, we don't take that for granted. We truly do not take that for granted. And I think we're the backbone, because at leisure services, everybody needs us. And we're that unwind for people too. In the midst of those hectic days, like, okay, let me just go run. Let me go to the gym. Let me just go swim. Let me just do something to get my mind off of my day. So we're quintessential.
Yeah. Fantastic message. Holly?
Yeah, I kind of think, echoing on what Nick said, that for so many people who are not in our profession, they don't understand and often don't recognize the value of Parks and Recreation. We bring the quality of life to our communities. We are that out of work, out of school time, for good or bad. For so many kids, we are a consistent adult figure, or a consistent program, as he said, or an outlet for them to meet a need that they have. We see so many children nowadays that have working parents, whether they're in a two-parent household or a single parent or caregiver household, that may be working 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet. We're, that person in the after-school program that, checks in with that kid. Hey, how's it going? What's going on in your life, and truly care. For so many kids, that's important. And a lot of people take that for granted, but I don't think in Parks and Recreation we tend to do so. We tend to try to, like I said before, meet people where they are a lot of times. And not only just for kids, but also we have so many aging senior citizens or active adults nowadays. We're in a population where people are living longer. People are outliving their friends, their spouses, their family members, and often they're left alone. And so to have the ability to offer opportunities, programs, activities, events for those adults to come forward and participate in, so that they are not shut in, they're not in their house, they're not, having any social engagement. We often see so many of those individuals who come to a program just to have that human connection. So I think for us, Parks and Recreation goes more than just a bat and a ball or just sports. It's that human connection and the ability to really serve our entire citizenry, and each person as a whole individual.
Fantastic message. Okay, so closing, I'd like each of y'all to give a testimony as if you were talking to a group of college kids that are undecided. Speaking of those young professionals, the next generation of Parks and Rec professionals, what kind of message do you have for them as to why they should dedicate their life to Parks and Recreation?
I think for me, talking to that group, and we actually do this a lot in Georgia. We do go to colleges, universities. We go to high schools, middle schools, and talk to students, trying to engage our message of why, not only why we're important, but why we need more like-minded individuals. If you care for your community, if you care for your fellow man, you care for the person next to you, this is a profession for you. If you find joy in some of the smallest things, sometimes it's the smile of a kid, a laughter that you hear from a kid that otherwise might not have anything, from talking to that adult that has no other family, that's retired, that all of a sudden no longer has that reason to get up every day when they've worked a job for, say, 30 years. We are that reason. And going to work every day, knowing that every day is going to be different, knowing that every day is going to have obviously challenges just like any job. But for us, I think it's the small things that outweigh the work that we do, because it's not easy work. A lot of times we're the ones that are still there when everybody else is going home. We're the ones when everybody else is on vacation or on holiday or, out of school or out of work time. We're working. But I think that's the thing about it. And we make it a family. I know for my agency and my staff, we are very close. We're like a family because we spend 70 hours together outside of that. And so if that's something that you're looking for, is that kind of relationship in your work, outside your own family or out of work time, this is the job for you.
Fantastic. Nick, what's your testimony for the industry?
I would just tell anybody, if you're looking for a path to where you're going to be able to do meaningful work, look into recreation. I can tell people all the time, I think if you're chasing money, this may not be the field. But if you want personal fulfillment or feel like you're leaving you're walking in your purpose or leaving a legacy, this is the field for you. Because I think so many times too, the way we impact lives, like I've had young people that have come through our programs to where now they're millionaires, but they credit a lot of their success to the foundation that recreation is laid. And also giving, the older generation or seniors opportunities to be seen, just to be accepted, just to have, adding life longevity. But mainly this field just allows you to truly sow seeds and to change other people's lives, impact communities, as well as expose people. I'm gonna say all ages. Sometimes we start as young as 6 weeks old to infinity. I'm gonna say infinity because people are definitely living longer now, but being in a space to where you can impact lives and just change communities. So I would tell anybody, please come into this field, because a young person like myself that may have entered a rec center just optimistic. I didn't know what was going to come out of that building, but it changed my life forever. And you can't put a dollar amount on it. And I would not be here if it wasn't for a rec center. Now, I tell people all the time, hey, we just provide hope. We provide hope for people. We provide hope, we provide safety, and we provide enjoyment. Enjoyment. So if you're looking for those things, please enter this profession. And we definitely need new blood. We always need that new blood, those innovative ideas. And please come here. Please be fearless. Don't be afraid to fail. Come here and continue to try. You're not failing. You're just continuing to push us forward, So we need that young blood.
Yeah, fantastic. Both very powerful messages. I appreciate all y'all doing for our local communities. And thank y'all for coming on the Daily Parks and Rec Show. And y'all have a great rest of y'all's convention.
Thank you.
Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPR's Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product, growing your presence in public spaces, targeting cities, counties, or departments, DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion Parks and Rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move Parks and Rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them.